Hey everyone, and welcome back to Divine Beauty Tarot. So for today's video, we have another pick a card, and this one is going to be all about what is coming up next for you, or what should you do next. I really was called to do a pick a card reading, one that really pertained to kind of like where you are at currently. And if you find that you're at a position where maybe you're torn between what you should do next, or maybe you're completely lost and confused and just trying to navigate what your next step should be. My hope for this video for you is that this will give you a little bit more guidance and clarification, on your journey. So I do want to put out a quick disclaimer though. With that being said, remember that tarot is never ever going to be definitive in that this is 100% going to happen to you. This is just based off of your current energy, where you are headed towards currently. You have the power of free will. So if there's anything in this reading that you do not fully register with, or you feel like you do not want this to happen, remember you have the power to change that. So I did want to put that out there, because I know for a lot of people who are maybe newer to divination, tarot, pick a card readings, all of that, sometimes it can be a little bit scary when you hear about your future and it's not maybe something that you were prepared for or you want to happen, all of that. So I look at this as more so a way of just, again, showing what your energy is currently manifesting, where you're kind of headed. And if at any point you don't like that, guess what? You can absolutely change your own course. Okay. So again, just wanted to put that out there as a quick disclaimer before we get right into today's reading. So as you can see, we have 4 piles in which you guys can select from today. We have pile number 1 with the blessings card, and we have this beautiful rose quartz tower. I actually just got this in the other day and I am already obsessed with it. It's so pretty. For pile number 2, we have inspiration, and we have this gorgeous smoky quartz semi-polished tower. Pile number 3, we have healing, and we have this black tourmaline. And then pile number 4, we have manifestation, and we have this kyanite and quartz infused crystal. This is raw, so as you can see, all of these little edges here, they are actually kind of sharp, so I have to be careful when I hold this. All right, so if you guys need to, go ahead and pause the video to meditate on which pile you are feeling most drawn to. As always, I will have the timestamps listed below in the description box, so once you have made your selection, you can go ahead and fast forward to your reading. Again, we have pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I will see you guys at your pile selection. Hi, group 1. So if you selected the rose quartz tower, then this is going to be your reading. So I've gone ahead and laid out all of your tarot cards and your oracle cards. We're actually going to go ahead and go through this all together, and we are going to see what should you do next, or what is up next for you guys. So let's start here with your tarot cards. So you guys have the 8 of Pentacles, and we have the 9 of Pentacles. So first of all, I love to see this right off the bat. The fact that you have an 8 and a 9, this right here is already showing a very nice picture for you guys as of right now. So with the 8 of Pentacles here, this is known as the craftsman card. So this is somebody who is working hard on their craft, on their skills. They're really just putting in a lot of effort and focus into bettering either themselves or their skill set, really just trying to educate themselves. I feel like the focus is really on just leveling up here. And it's definitely paying off, because you've got this 9 of Pentacles, where the 9 of Pentacles is you reaping the rewards, or kind of just reaping what you sow. It's just kind of taking it all in of everything, showing that your hard work has in fact paid off here, which is beautiful, because this is kind of like you stepping into this next chapter of like abundance, especially when it comes to finances, when it comes to career. So if you're somebody who has been really working hard on leveling up or finding a way to make more money, I definitely see this being kind of like that next step. So this is you just kind of getting into that energy of just putting in the work and seeing the rewards from it. Now, I love this because you guys did choose the blessings card. So the blessings are all about kind of like taking in and appreciating what you already have, and knowing that, more is still to come. Again, just putting in this hard work and dedication, I think is really what's kind of motivating you to kind of keep going. I think you're probably already starting to see a little bit come in right now, especially if this has to deal with something that you are very passionate about. So if you are very passionate about a line of work that you are in, or you're just maybe working on more of like your creative aspect, you're trying to tap into making it maybe more of like a business. If you're somebody who's like an artist, maybe you're trying to sell some of your artwork or things of that nature. I see this being like what kind of fuels your fire. This is what's kind of motivating you to keep going, just to kind of motivate yourself that much more. Now, the reason why I kind of talked about more so like your creativity or kind of like your passions is because we also have the fire magic card here as well. Now, fire magic really kind of deals with just kind of focusing on what lights you up. What is it that you are truly passionate about, or that kind of gives you that drive, that focus, that intensity. So that makes me think of kind of like the wands energy. And I feel like this is kind of having an impact here when it comes to your finances as well. So again, I feel like many of you might be some type of creator or somebody who is really tapping into your artistry, or just you're finding a way to basically turn your passion into something that's profitable. And the hard work and dedication that you are putting in here is really, really showing. So I love that for you guys so far, because there is this drive, there is this motivation. So as far as like what you should be doing next, I feel like this is kind of pretty straightforward, that it's just kind of keep going, keep doing what you're doing. You're definitely putting in the work here, and it is going to be paying off. Now, you did also have a other oracle card. This is from the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle, and we have watch your thoughts. It's important to only think about what you desire, not what you fear, okay? So if the reason why you chose maybe this pile, or why you maybe chose to click on this video to begin with, is maybe there has been a little bit of doubt, or maybe a seed of doubt just planted in, especially if you haven't quite seen the reward just yet, or seen the blessings come in because you have been working so hard. This is reminding you just to kind of watch what you put out there. Think of like law of attraction. If you put any type of negativity or any type of limiting belief on yourself, what happens? We tend to kind of stunt our own growth, and things just kind of stay stagnant. We don't see any further progress, because then we kind of just live in the fear, right? So this is reminding you just to kind of watch your thoughts, be a little bit more conscientious of, the things that do tend to sometimes just creep in. We want to make sure that our focus is on exactly what it is that we're working on here, and we're keeping that going, okay? Because that's when we're going to start to see the abundance come in. It's basically like your hard work is going to start to pay off, okay? Now, your other two oracle cards that we have inspiring, and the top states freedom. Trigger statement, I have no choice. True statement, I create my day, my life. It is the time to play, do something different today to shift your routine. So with this card in particular, this is just kind of reminding you that you are not basically stuck to one particular thing. This isn't like you don't have a choice in this matter. Clearly, this is something that you have chosen to do, and you are creating your own life. So think about manifestation. Think about, again, I'm going to go back to the law of attraction. What is it that you are currently trying to attract? Are you trying to attract a successful career, some abundance when it comes to money, when it comes to your finances with this specific skill? That's what you are trying to focus on and trying to manifest. Keep doing that. This is how you're going to re-inspire yourself and how you are going to continue to stay motivated. Okay. The next card that we have is Siberian Fur. This is about acceptance. Trigger statement, we must remember. True statement, I am free of the habits that do not serve me. Lay down the armor passed down to you from your family. Release habits that are not serving you and forgive on behalf of generations past. Okay. So this tends to deal with kind of like ancestral, oh gosh, I don't want to say curses, but it's almost like, the limiting beliefs. This is kind of like what I was getting to, like when I had kind of touched upon that. Like if you have been setting any type of limitations on yourself, if any of these thoughts have been kind of creeping in, this is you accepting that these do not define you, and these will basically withhold you, or they will hold you back from going any further. So this is asking that we, accept the past. We accept that this is no longer part of our current journey. And we focus on the present. We focus on exactly what it is that we're doing. Because group one, it looks like that you guys are doing just that. You guys are focusing on these things in particular as to how you can continue to better yourself and really stay focused. This is what's going to, I think, kind of show you where you're going to end up just by putting in this hard work. You're going to start to see these blessings, this abundance come in here. So long as you kind of stay on track and you stay motivated with what, fuels your fire here. Okay. And then the last card that we have, I believe I'm pronouncing this Thanatos. And this card actually is the equivalent to the death card in tarot. Now, this is an archetype from the Wild Unknown archetype oracle cards. And immediately when I saw this, when this came out in your reading, I was at first kind of not sure like how this necessarily fit in at first, just because I was seeing so much abundance here. But the further that I looked into this, I realized, okay, again, I think of rebirth. I think of, starting anew, with death. And I look at this more so to kind of like what we were talking about earlier with these trigger statements or these limiting beliefs that might have been maybe hindering you a little bit, especially if you clicked on this video because you're wondering like what you should do next. There might have been this sense of like, okay, do I continue on my path or do I just give up now? And this is reminding you to let go of any hesitation, any doubt, any beliefs that you have about money even, okay? Anything like that needs to end with you. There are no generational curses anymore about money, about, up-leveling yourself, anything like that. You do not want to put any sort of limitations on you. And with this death card, this is basically kind of reminding you that this is now you shedding that, and now you stepping into your own abundance, you working hard to get past all of this. This is no longer who you are. You want to be somebody who is hardworking, who's driven, who's going to go after their hopes and dreams, and who's going to make it. And that's what I'm seeing here with your tarot cards here. And the fact that you do have, this strong sense of, passion that I feel like is just driving you to get to this point. This is ultimately what I think is going to keep you on track, or at least should keep you on track as far as like motivation. So group one, that is what I am seeing for you guys as far as like what is going to happen next or what you guys should do next. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up, as it truly helps out the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to move on to group number two. Hi, group 2. So if you selected this gorgeous smoky quartz chunk, then this is going to be your reading. So we have gone ahead and laid out all of your cards, and we're just going to go ahead and go through everything together. We're going to start here with your tarot cards, and then we will go through everything else. So for your tarot cards today, we have the Judgment card and we have the High Priestess. So for you guys, group 2, there's definitely a sense of kind of coming into your own. I almost feel like this is a kind of like soul awakening, if you will. There is almost like this sense of kind of like discovering your own truth or your own sense of self. This could be you tapping into your higher sense of self. You know, the High Priestess is all about our intuition. This is, you know, kind of talking about us looking a little bit more inward and trusting our gut, our intuition more. It's like just kind of tapping in to that subconscious level. With the Judgment card, again, this is kind of just like you really looking inward. I love the fact that this is kind of just more like you're taking a look in the mirror here and you're kind of seeing yourself almost like for the first time as who you truly are or who you truly wish to be. And I find that this is very beautiful for you because this is almost like you getting motivated, like you're motivating yourself, you know, to take the next step. It's like, I almost think of the Fool a little bit, you know, with the Fool energy of just kind of like, I'm going to trust in the universe and I'm just going to go forward no matter which direction it is. I'm just going to go forward and trust my, you know, or trust in the universe that it's going to catch me. And in this case, it's almost like you're going to just trust in your intuition to guide you, that I am going to make my own decisions, my own choices based on how I feel. So I'm listening to myself internally is really what I see for you guys here. Now, for your cards, you guys actually had 2 of the spellcasting oracle. You had inspiration and we had truth. Now, the interesting thing I did want to point out, as I just mentioned, I realized I just mentioned it, is when we were talking about the Judgment card. And this almost kind of like looking into yourself or kind of like looking in a mirror. With this truth card, that's exactly what she's holding. She's holding a mirror and she's looking at it. She's looking at the truth. Like the mirror is going to show her the reality. It's no longer, you know, seeing things from maybe rose-colored glasses. It's actually like, nope, the veil is lifted. I am actually seeing myself for the first time in a way that I've always wanted to see myself. Or you're able to now maybe just a little bit more clearer. And again, this is motivating you. There's this sense of inspiration. It's reignited something in you to, I think, take the next step here, which is really exciting because I feel like for a lot of people, when we get to that kind of like self-awakening or tapping into our higher self, for a lot of people, it can sometimes be a little overwhelming because it's almost like, okay, like I've got this drive, this thing that's in me that I want to explore, but it's almost like I just don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And in this case, it's almost like you guys know exactly what to do, which is kind of interesting because I just feel like it's like you're looking more inward, and this is what's really going to motivate you or kind of like guide you, if you will, to that next step. So it's very fitting too with this particular reading as we're trying to see like what's your next step going to be. Well, I think a lot of this is more so looking inward at yourself. Now, I do want to tap into your other oracle cards here just so we can get a little bit more clarification as well. So we have make a move. So again, this is really you taking ownership or taking that next step on your path, on your journey here. And I think trusting your intuition is really what's going to get you to that next step, especially if you know, or you have an idea, I should say, of like where it is that you're wanting to go. This is you now taking that step forward and not maybe holding yourself back or not hesitating. This is like, nope, full speed ahead. I know what I want because I'm listening to myself. I'm listening to my intuition, and it's going to guide me in the right direction. You also have a new dawn, and this says the worst is now behind you and positive new experiences are on the horizon. So absolutely, this is a new day. This is a new you. I just feel like this is who you are meant to be. You are stepping in your true authenticity, group 2. And this is really exciting because I feel like, oh wow, I just noticed these 2 words right here. Sorry, I'm going to hold them up real quick because we have liberated and enlightened. So I definitely do feel like there is a sense of liberation here, especially with that inspiration card in the judgment. This is you feeling good. Okay, so let's take a look at the rest of these. So we have adaptable. The trigger statement is what happens next. That's kind of what we're asking. True statement, I am divinely connected. Dear soul, please remember that you never walk alone. Okay, so remember that you are not alone, even as you embark on this new journey of maybe self-discovery, getting ready to just kind of go out on your own. You are never alone, okay? You are divinely connected. And then we have enlightened. Trigger statement, I am alone. Frankincense, true statement, I am one with all that is. Dear child, you are safe and loved as you continue on your journey of self-exploration. So exactly, that's exactly what you're doing. This is 100% about you, group 2. You are on your journey, your self journey. This is all about you, I think, nurturing yourself, kind of really looking inward as we've been talking about, and again, just kind of going forward. So this is really your time, to, I think, really discover who you are and what you want to accomplish. And at this point, I feel like the options are endless is the way I look at it. I feel like you're getting inspired and you're finding ways that are really connecting to you, that are going to speak to you in a way that maybe other things haven't necessarily in the past. And that's really, really big. This is a really good time, I think, for you, for your confidence, for your self-love. Like, this is such a good time. So I'm really excited for you guys with this. And then the last card that we have is the Mother. Now, the Mother is very interesting because this is kind of like the source. This is, or at least it's known as the source in the archetype deck. And with the Mother in particular, this is kind of like finding a balance between nurturing, loving, and caring. And I feel like this is kind of like you taking this time to mother yourself, really nurture yourself as you kind of start this new journey or this new portion of where you're headed. I feel like I said, this is a lot of you just kind of like looking inward, and part of that is going to be, I think, being very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, very careful with yourself, especially if this is, very new energy. Okay. And I say that lightly just because I feel like for many of you, this is some type of transition for you. Okay. This is clearly you kind of just like looking again more inward, in a way that you never have possibly before. Really just looking at sometimes the hard truths, the ones that are difficult to see or the ones to acknowledge. And when we do that, sometimes that brings out the hurt, that brings out the pain. And when that happens, we obviously want to take great care of ourselves during that time. We want to nurture ourselves, so then that way we're not left feeling, so low or feeling like we are alone. Hence why we've got like these trigger statements stating that I'm alone, because the truth is you are not alone. Okay. And even though there might be moments where that may come into play where you feel that way, this is all reminding you that this does not define you. You are on a path that is propelling you forward, in a way that is way more positive. And there's definitely a lot more, I think, to look ahead to here, for you guys. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to hear. Group 2, that is your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed the reading, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up, as it truly helps out the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to move on to group number 3. Hi, group 3. So if you selected the black tourmaline, and then this is going to be your reading. So I've gone ahead and laid out all of your cards, and we're going to go ahead and just jump right in and see what should you do next. So as I kind of went through everything, I definitely picked on a specific energy. And obviously I understand this is a general reading, but there is something very specific for maybe someone or maybe just a couple of you. And I did want to acknowledge that, especially because I feel like I can't not say it, if that makes sense. And that is basically for you, group 3. I feel like the next step for you is going to be really working on healing your broken heart. I feel like for many, well, excuse me, I shouldn't say many, just the few that I am really picking up on this particular, is that there was somebody that I feel like broke your heart. The Knight of Cups is in reverse here, along with the Hermit in reverse. And to me, this is kind of signifying that this person wasn't who they maybe perceived themselves to be. It's almost like they kind of led you under false pretense and making you think that they were this knight in shining armor. In reality, they were the complete opposite. Hence why we've got these two in reversal. And with the Hermit card, with it upright, it typically does kind of like depict us kind of like looking more inward, kind of giving ourselves like that quiet time. When it's in the reverse, this is more so like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say like reclusing, but like, because I don't even know if that's necessarily a word, but almost just kind of like hiding out of almost like fear or like out of embarrassment even, just because of the hurt, of the pain. There is just like this strong sense of like feeling like you want to just kind of withdraw from everyone, because I feel like just of how hurt you are, this person, I don't know. I'm not getting a good vibe off of this person in particular. So it really kind of hurts me for you that you had to go through this. And I truly am sorry, because this is not fun, and this isn't a good feeling to feel like now you kind of have to look more inward, or maybe questioning yourself as to like what you did. And in all honesty, I don't think you did anything wrong here. If anything, this might be a blessing in disguise, especially, I mean, I'll be real. This is a blessing in disguise. Let's be real. Like, this person, you didn't need to waste your time with them any longer. And now it's kind of like your time to really focus on your healing. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look here with the rest of your cards. So we have set your sights higher, increase your standards, and expect more for yourself. Don't settle, okay? Absolutely. Do not settle for anything less than you deserve, okay? This person, they weren't it, okay? I'm sorry, but they were clearly below your standards, and I think you probably thought that they were more just based off of, again, the false pretense that they led you on, but clearly they're not it, okay? Positive energy. Surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negativity. Now, I know that that is probably a lot easier said than done, especially when you are going through the healing processes and you're grieving. It's not that easy to be very positive and chipper. I 100% get that, okay? And that makes me think of this card right here, which is tears of joy and sadness, okay? So as you can see, like in the picture, she's crying, and on this side she looks really sad and miserable, but in the mirror it looks like she's content, even though she's putting on a front. she's still crying. And it's the same thing with the cat as well. The cat looks like it's smiling here, and then over here it looks scared and, probably confused. So I feel like there is just this feeling of like you have to almost put on a front to make it seem like you're okay, but you're really not. And that could just be part of the fact that you are dealing with this feeling of like this heartache. So it's almost like just having to put on a false facade to others around you, just so then that way you don't maybe have to talk about it, or you don't have to go into detail about it, because maybe there is this sense of feeling like, I don't know, embarrassment almost. I feel like there is just some sort of negative attachment or connotation that you've attached to yourself because of how the situation ended. Okay. And I do want to say that I do not get the sense at all that you have anything to be ashamed about. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here with your other cards that we have. So we have arboritive, or yeah. Honestly, I don't even think I pronounced that right. I really didn't. Okay, so the word is flow. Trigger statement: why are things such a struggle? True statement: I am in the flow. Take a breath, dear one, and allow yourself to feel the flow of life through you. Release your need to do and just be. Okay, so just, kind of take things slow, take them one step at a time. I look at this as kind of like that healing energy. You want to just kind of take it as you will, cry when you need to, laugh when you want to, you're going to go kind of like little up and down moments, but eventually you will kind of get back on track. So this is just kind of reminding you to just kind of go with the flow up until it gets to be a little bit more back on track for you. Okay. And then we have protective, immune. Trigger statement: I am not safe. True statement: I am secure. Fill any areas of energetic weakness and strength. You can walk easily knowing that you are safe and protected. Okay, so just know that you are okay, that you're safe, you're gonna be fine. I know it might not feel that way at this moment, especially if you are still kind of grieving, you're going through like this healing process. But again, just kind of trust that things are going to work themselves out, that you will get back into the flow of things here, okay? Now, I did also want to touch upon the fact that you had talent come out as well. Now, the talent card was interesting because I feel like this more so kind of spoke to you guys, for those of you who do have a specific skill or talent, maybe that gives you pure joy, or kind of just, it's almost like your escape from reality, if you will. And that's kind of what I look at this when I see this dancer. It's like when she's dancing, she's almost like in another world. And that's kind of the vibe that I get when it comes to your specific talent or skill set that you have. Doing something where it almost kind of transports you to another dimension or another world, and you forget about the hurt or the pain, just for those moments, because you're focused on doing something that you're really good at and that you really enjoy. And that is what's going to help you through your healing. Okay. And so if you do find that you are, maybe you enjoy dancing, or you are a dancer, or you enjoy singing or hiking, or whatever it is that you do that you are very talented at, I highly encourage you, especially if you are going through this rough time, to really kind of divulge yourself into that, because that's what's going to kind of get you back into that happy space or that happy place a lot quicker. And it's going to help to heal yourself, because you're going to start to do things that make you feel happy rather than kind of just replaying, the sadness over and over. Okay. Now, I did think that this was very interesting. For you guys, I did want to talk about these two cards. These were the last ones that we got. We had the Destroyer and we had the Queen. Okay. So the Destroyer, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm sorry, but this energy 100% depicts this Knight of Cups in reverse. I feel like this person came in and again was led you under false pretense and kind of destroyed what your vision or what your kind of like just what you saw in them or what you had hoped, your happiness. They destroyed all that. based on this deceit, based on, you know, them not being who they truly are. And that, I think, has been what has been so difficult, I think, you know, during this time as you're trying to kind of like navigate, you know, your healing process, like how to like move on from this person or this individual. I almost feel like it's just because they really did a number. I mean, they came in and I just don't think they were so kind. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's just, but it's really kind of like, I don't know that they necessarily set out to harm you. I don't get that. It's almost like they just didn't care that they did. Is really kind of the energy that I'm picking up on, is like they just didn't really care that they hurt you. That just was like they were just going to do them and focus on what makes them happy, even if that meant hurting you in the process. Like there just was no real care with that. Okay. And the fact that we have the Queen, I'm sorry, but you are a queen. Okay. I know there could be men watching this, and obviously this is, you know, not gender specific, but I look at the Queen energy as this is you, whether you're male or female. Take this as you stepping into your authenticity, you stepping into kind of like what makes you unique, lovable, all of that. That is that Queen energy. And this is reminding you that you are healing to get back to this, okay? You need to kind of get back to where things are good for you, that you're focusing on you, you're focusing on what makes you happy, on this positive energy, you're protecting yourself, you know, and you're setting your sights higher. That is the biggest thing, okay? A queen is not going to settle for anything else other than a king, you know, or another queen, you know, like it doesn't matter. Like if these are the things that you need to like really focus on, I think as you start to, you know, heal, and as you start to kind of take the next steps forward, you know, really just kind of look a little bit more inward as to what makes you happy and do that. And I promise you things will get a little bit easier. Okay, so group number 3, that was your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up, as it truly helps out the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to move on to our final group. Hi, group 4. So if you selected the kyanite crystal, then this is going to be your reading. So I've gone ahead and laid out all of your cards. We're going to go ahead and go through them together, and we're going to see what is it that you should do next. What is your next step? So group 4, this is very, very interesting. I will say you guys had quite a few synchronicities pop up into your reading. I don't know if you can already see them, but your biggest thing is your manifestation. And it's so crazy because I actually shuffled your tarot cards first, and then I did the rest of your oracle cards. And we had the Magician in reverse actually pop out first. And then the Hangman came out right after. And it was so interesting because immediately I thought, okay, this makes sense. We've got the Magician here in reverse, so clearly we're just having some difficulty really trying to focus on our manifestation. It's almost like we're not really knowing what it is that we want. We feel a little stuck. Hence the Hangman, like we feel a little suspended, not sure what to do next. It's like, you know, you want to do something. There are some ideas there, absolutely, but nothing to really, I think, hold your attention, or nothing to really kind of like garnish you to move forward with it. It's almost like, okay, sounds like a good idea, but I don't know, you know, and then it's almost like you go back to the drawing board. So I feel like that's kind of like where you're at right now. And it's very interesting because as I continue to shuffle the rest of your oracle cards, you had manifestation pop up, we had clarity, and then we had friendship. So this was interesting because clearly your manifestation is something that really wants to take off. I feel like there is, like, you have all the tools necessary to make something happen. You just really need to focus and really clear your mind, and get clear as to what it is that you're wanting. I feel, again, you've got all these great ideas. You've got, you know, all these different thoughts popping up, but as far as choosing one specific path, we haven't quite narrowed it down yet. So with the friendship card coming in, I look at this as maybe this might be a good time to talk with your friends, like really just kind of bounce ideas off of one another, especially if you're still having a difficult time trying to figure out what you should do next, okay? And we also had the card of air magic. Now, air magic for me, when I see this, this makes me think of like the swords in the tarot deck, like the suit of swords. And this makes me think of our logic, our, our thoughts, are just, again, manifestation. This is just kind of like, what is it that we want to do? We think about it, we're pondering it, we're thinking of all the different possibilities, and we kind of like set a plan or set a list of intentions. And that's what the air magic card to me kind of represents in this specific spread. This is really you tapping into yourself, gaining a little bit more clarity and understanding of what it is that you are truly wanting. So this might be a good time for you to just, again, look a little bit more inward, maybe do some meditation, talking to your friends or family, bouncing off ideas off of one another, really just trying to get clear and precise as you can. So then that way this magician card can turn around and we can start focusing on making this manifestation happen. Okay. Now for your other oracle cards here, we have music for manifesting. So to manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. So this also might be a really good thing to do, especially when you're meditating. I find for me, I tend to be a little bit more clairaudient, like where I like to listen to certain sounds, or even just kind of like calming sounds. And I find that when I do that, that's when my mind gets very clear. And I don't know, I feel like I can kind of tap into, my intuition. And especially when I'm doing shuffling or doing a reading, I really like to listen to music. So it helps me become clearer when I am reading, if that makes sense. So the same can definitely be said when it comes to your manifesting or manifestation. Sometimes just having that little bit of background noise or just listening to that solely, just to help clear your mind, will help get ideas kind of ironed out so you can really see them as they are. Okay. The next one that we have is pay attention. Notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. Okay. So really pay attention to your surroundings as well. If you're seeing, excuse me, if you're seeing, sequences like numbers, or you're seeing the same thing pop up over and over again, this might be a sign that this is what maybe you should do next, or maybe the route that you should go. So this again could be really anything, but if you're having a hard time trying to pinpoint it down, it might not be a bad idea to really just kind of pay attention to anything that you're seeing be repeated around you. Okay. All right. So for your next oracle cards that we have, this is Spike Nerd, and the top of the card reads faith. Trigger statement: why does this always happen to me? True statement: I am at peace. Know that everything will work out as it needs to, and hold a space of gratitude as you watch the miracles unfold. Okay, so this I think is very on point here as far as knowing that things will work themselves out. You just kind of have to have a little bit of faith here, and again, trusting in yourself and spirit, that things are going to reveal themselves to you. You just have to learn, I think, how to be a little bit more clear with your intentions, because things obviously aren't necessarily working out because we're not setting those clear intentions when we're working on our manifestation. So you want to be clear as you can in order to see these things unfold. Okay. And then the next one that we have is expansion. Trigger statement: I am not enough. True statement: I love myself. So this is Bergamot. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Your tender heart is in need of care. Know that your body is here to help you experience a miraculous life. Embrace it. Okay. So yeah, really just kind of tend to yourself, knowing that you are enough. I feel like that is the biggest one, especially when it comes to us maybe having that self-doubt when it comes to our manifestation, or when it comes to us trying to go after the things that we want. Sometimes we get into our own head. This is very similar to, I think it was group 1. We were talking about, or shoot, maybe it was group 2. I don't know. I feel like a couple of the decks were very similar, or a couple of the piles were really similar in the sense of kind of getting in their own way, or having any sort of like limiting beliefs, which is what can cause either your manifestation not to work correctly, or just that you end up creating more negativity or more chaos kind of around you, because that's what you're attracting. So, if you want to attract more abundance, or you want to attract something more positive into your life, this is where you tend to get more clear and not have any sort of limiting belief on yourself. Okay. Now, the last card that we have here for you guys is the Shaman. Now, the Shaman to me is very similar to that of the Magician. I look at the Shaman as somebody who can really kind of tap in to not only the spiritual realm, but it's almost like they've got a good balance with everything from medicine to science to holistic to, it's almost like it's like they're one with all. It's kind of how I see the Shaman. And that's what I think of with the Magician as well. It's very, very similar. It's almost like they go hand in hand. So with the fact that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, you've got 4 cards here depicting manifestation, the Magician. This is really you working on that, getting this right, getting yourself clear so you can make this happen. Okay, so if you're feeling stuck and you're wondering, why aren't things working out? How come this is happening? Why can't I seem to get ahead? This might be why, because it's really time for you to get clear on your intention. Talk it out with your friends, talk it out with your family members, really get yourself clear on your intentions, so then that way you can go after your goals with a little bit more ease. Okay, so group 4, that was your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up, as it truly helps out the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys. Thank you. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, evening, or wherever you are in this beautiful world. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.